What's up, guys? Welcome to another video. Make sure to visit podcastformarketers.com. Smash that like button if you like the video and fucking subscribe to this channel because I'm coming out with videos every day. Now let's get down to business. All right, so today we're talking about, well, first of all, what are sales funnels? All right. And will they work for you? You know, I noticed that, I use the word sales funnels a lot. A lot of people may or may not know what a funnel is, right? So first of all a funnel is just directing traffic to a place where you want them to go, right? And you don't have to be complex either, okay? So everybody inevitably wants to end up with a cha-ching, right? So there are several places that you would want to kind of direct your sales funnel, right? And so one place would be to an email list, okay? So another place would be to a sales page, okay, or a webinar. All right, so these are just different destinations that will inevitably end up and lead to a sale, right? So basically this just means education right here, okay? If you notice, I'm just working backwards, okay? So this just means education. They need to know more depending on who you are and what you're selling and how much it costs. More than likely, they need more education, right? So you can put them in the email list and nurture them there. You can let them watch a webinar so you can educate them there. Or maybe your sales page, it's a shorter sales pitch. So your web page, your sales page will have a video or sales copy on it, right? So after that, you just have traffic, right? Which is your audience. All right. Now, the traffic just needs to be directed to where you want it to go, right? So that's why they call it a funnel, because, it ends up like a broad something, right? So, but then you start to kind of squeeze it down. People are going to fall outside the funnel. There's going to be spilling over. Certain people don't want to deal with you, but then you're going to have people kind of going down into your funnel, right? So let me show you how that looks linearly. All right, so you're just directing traffic, right? So when you see people use boxes, that's just a web page, right? And that's why we use boxes, okay? So this is a web page, this is a web page, and this is a web page, right? And if you notice, I always put arrows which way the traffic is running, right? So all this is saying that I had a Facebook ad, and on that Facebook ad, I put a link, and I want you to click here with my call to action. All right, and I want to go send them to a landing page, okay? And in this landing page, I might want to collect their email, right? So I can then own the traffic. Basically, I paid for the traffic, and now I want to own it. So I send them to a landing page with an email. And then after that email, I get that email. Then I can send them to a webinar registration page, or I can send them to a sales page. All right. And that's as simple as a funnel needs to be. All right. Now, obviously, how you get your traffic is one thing. And knowing all of these, how to nurture them in email and how to do a webinar, how to write up a sales page, and how to educate them is something totally different, right? But today I just want to talk about what a sales funnel is. And it's all it is directing traffic, right? When you hear the word sales funnel, just think about traffic and plus links. Traffic plus links plus web pages, right, equals cha-ching, right? So you're just directing traffic to where you want it to go. Believe it or not, you can actually sell your traffic, right? And this is where people kind of leverage traffic. So what you want to do, right? Cheap traffic, honestly, cheap traffic is garbage traffic. With traffic, you get what you pay for, right? So, let's just say that this total thing on Facebook to get them to a webinar registration and to show up more than likely would cost you somewhere in the area of between $4 and $7 per webinar registration. So if you wanted 100 people to show up to your webinar, then you would spend between $400 and $700 for those leads, right? Now, if you wanted to, let's say, for instance, get your traffic from somewhere else that may be a bit cheaper, right? Let's just say you're only going to pay, $2 per webinar registration, but more than half of those people aren't going to even show up, or they might not purchase anything. It could be crappy traffic, right? So, all it is, a funnel is just directing traffic, right? So let's just say you had some dirt cheap traffic, right, that you bought for $1 per sale. Let's say it costs you $1.20 to get a sale, right? But you sent it to an affiliate, and this is how affiliate marketing happens, right? You sent it to affiliate marketing situation when they fill out a registration that paid you $2.50, right? So there you have a $1.30 profit on traffic. So you just kind of threaded the needle there, didn't you? That's all you did. So once you understand how to become a media buyer, once you understand how funnels work, you'll realize that the next question that you have is, will funnels work for any business, right? So your whole job is to get people in your funnel. And why do you use funnels in the first place? Because funnels are a logical way to do business with people, okay? And I remember one time some guy told me, he came to my website and he was chatting through my little chat feature on my website. And I go, what course did you buy, blah, blah. He goes, I'm not ready to get in your funnel yet. It's like, dude, you're already in my funnel. If you're on my website chatting to me, you're in my funnel, dude. It's a wrap, And so it was hilarious. Like, being in someone's funnel is something that you do every day without knowledge, right? It's like my wife. I always tell a story about my wife. She goes to the grocery market and she saw a screen standing on the end of an aisle, right? It was like one of those little kiosk type things, I guess. Standing there, and there was a little screen, and there was some sales copy, and here was a video, and in that video was a mop, and so she stood there, right, in the fucking funnel, right there in live, and the mops weren't too far away. I can look in the kitchen right now and see that fucking mop, because she watched that video. They educated her in that video, and they told her, just look over there to the right, there's the mops. There's their traffic. They directed her to the mop, and they cha-ching, sent her ass right to the damn checkout stand. Right? That was a funnel. So you're in funnels every day, right? This was what you call a lead magnet. Get her attention. Like, hey, come watch this video. She watched the video, and sure enough, she's got that. That mop sucks, too. She's back there. No, it doesn't. She said she bought another one because it was so good. Isn't that nice? Anyway, so she was in a funnel, right? So funnels are not a bad thing, and you're in funnels all the time. I don't want to get in your funnel yet. You're already in my funnel, dude. It was hilarious when he said that. So funnels will work for you, and funnels work for any business, right? So I wanted to show you pretty much now what people do with funnels and why you have a certain ascension to funnels, right? So when you want to do business with someone and you walk up to them, you don't just walk up to them and you say, hey man, give me $100 today for this widget. Okay. people are like, man, what are you talking about? It's kind of like walking up to a girl and saying, kissing her straight in the mouth and saying, hey, will you marry me on the first second that you meet them, right? So that's not normal, right? And so I was watching something Ryan Dice was talking about one day, and he was saying that this doctor did a study about how animals act, right? And there's like stages, right, of how animals talk to each other and how they communicate and how they touch each other, right? So it all starts first with the eyes and a look, right? And then from a look, they approach each other and they might be attracted to each other, but then it starts with like a touching of hands, okay? And then from the touching of hands, there comes an embrace of some sort, right? And then comes kissing, and then comes, sex or whatever, right? Comes after. So there's a whole like list, and it's longer than this, right? And if you skip any one of these steps, it's considered assault. It's considered like, rape or, sexual assault or whatever. If you skip any one of those steps, right? That kind of helped me understand funnels. When he told that story, it kind of helped me understand, because you keep hearing people say that, don't be the guy that goes to ask the girl out on a date and kisses her square in the mouth within the first 10 minutes of you meeting her. But that story right there helped me understand exactly why you want to ascend with funnels, right? And so we have what I call friction. All right. And some people like this and some people don't. But I'm going to tell you now, most people don't understand. The less friction that you have in the beginning of your funnel, the more people can get to your $100 shit, right? So, and to give you an example, let's just make your destination a $100 widget. All right. That is your destination, right? So we can send people directly to that $100 widget, and you're going to have a conversion rate of about 1%, which is, if you go any worse than that, man, you're just like not even alive, right? Like I've seen like a 0.5% conversion. It's like, Jesus Christ, that offer sucks, right? But it might not necessarily be the offer. It could be the audience of people that you're talking to, or it could be the offer, or it could be both, right? So you can say to yourself, I want more people to see this $100 widget because it's really a great product, and I know they want the product, right? Well, stop asking them for $100 off the top and saying, give me $100. First of all, I don't have any education. I don't even fucking know you, right? So here's how it works. Most guys say, hey, listen, man, before I give you this $100 thing, man, why don't you go ahead and buy something for me and guys, try this, $20 first, right? And this might jump up to a, maybe a 2% conversion or a 1.5% conversion at that point, right? And then they'll say, well, that didn't work out too well. It's cool. I got a couple more people in, but that didn't work out, right? Well, I tell you what, why don't you purchase something from me for, $9.99, okay? And then that will jump up to a 2% conversion. Here's where shit gets interesting, though, right? So the sweet spot that I've noticed, and I've done a lot of testing, is right around $6.95, right? Do your left-hand pricing like Apple, okay? And the sweet spot is right around $6.95. This jumps up to a whopping 3 to 4% on cold traffic, right? They enter your funnel, and I just looked at all my funnels, just looked at all the statistics. None of my funnels are below 3%, and I'll show you why in a minute. But it really surprised the shit out of me because I have links every fucking where, right? So I'm like, damn, everybody's like, looky-looing on my shit, But it really surprised the shit out of me that I had that, a pretty decent conversion. And I'll show you why in a moment. So at $6.95, you got 3%. And now you can live with 3%, right? But if you have a 5% funnel, you're a millionaire, okay? So how can you get that up to 5%? And this is why you see it, because it's less friction. People don't mind opening their wallets up and say, well, $6.95 is not too bad. I'll do business. Now, if you're providing value and you have a good product, when they look at this $100 product, it might not be today. It may not be tomorrow, and it could be today because we're going to upsell them, of course, right? And you'll have a bump offer here, and there's all kinds of things you can add in, but I just want to show you the basis of a funnel. When you just say, hey, man, let me shake my hand for $6.95, which, depending on your audience, they've got $6. It's a no-brainer. You've got a good offer sitting in front of them. They're like, yeah, I'll do business with you for $6. I'll take a chance. When I see an offer for $6.95, to give you an example, the other day, I bought a piece of software. It was $39 for a lifetime. And it's a piece of software that I had been looking at different company. And I saw that, AppSumo had this a lifetime for $39. I bought it because that was a deal to me. Knowing that people want monthly for this, normally $47 a month for this app that I bought, and I could get a lifetime of this app for $39, I'm like, fuck, that's a good deal. I jumped right in, right? Because that was my price point, right? But a $6.95 for anybody's like, well, if I don't like it, I just fucked off $6.95. It's nothing big, right? You don't care. $6.95, I'm shaking the dice, and that's how it looks. But if it's a good product, if it's something good, then they go, well, damn, this $100 product really has got to be good. And they've already done business with you. They've already said yes. Okay? And they gave you an easy yes. Once they've said yes once, they're what we call they're in heat, right? They're a buyer in heat. They're buying things, and they've already said yes. It's hard to get them to say this yes. That's why we give them an easy point of entry of $7. Once they said yes, they know who you are. Now you can kiss them square in the face and offer to marry them for $100. Right? Okay, now, shit got interesting right there, but it's going to get even more interesting now. They did a college research on the word free, right? And I want you to go look it up. Oh, that fucking highlight there. I want you to go look it up because I don't remember what it was. But they did the research on the word free, right? And that word has such an effect on people. It's just incredible. I don't know why we like free so much. When we see the word free, now, I'm not going to lie to you. Free doesn't work for me. I look dead at that shit and go, that's not fucking free, right? But that's not everybody. And it's not you, okay? People say that all to me. Free should be free. It shouldn't be anything else. It should be free, right? You're going to have a few people that are like that, okay? But for the most part, free is a powerful word, okay? So now when you say free and you need to pay a tiny shipping fee, this increased my conversions from a 3% to an 8% conversion rate to get people in my funnel. That's huge. I told you at 5%, you're a millionaire. Okay? When you have a 5% converting funnel, right, a liquidating funnel, a self-liquidating funnel, we'll get into that later, you start getting more complicated jargon, but it's all the same, okay? So you get them in there for free. This is where people make their mistake. They're thinking, oh, man, I don't want to do this. A free plus shipping offer, I've seen a lot of people using it really shitty in e-commerce. And what do, right? What is the first thing you guys do in e-commerce? You say it's free plus shipping, right? I'll give it to you free plus shipping, and your shipping is $39.99. What? For a trinket, too. For a trinket. You're talking like a little cat necklace. I see that people have a little cat necklace with a little cat right here with some ears, and so that looks like a mouse almost, and some whiskers, right? Little cat necklace. Probably doesn't weigh anything more than like a little, not even a quarter ounce or something like that. A few grams. And you're charging $39.99 for shipping. Oh, I can't make any sales. Well, yeah, because you're a fucking dumbass. Free plus shipping is meant to make it easy to get people into your funnel, not for you to try to fool people to say it's free and shipping. That's where a lot of people are making their mistakes, right? The free plus shipping is just a handshake. And it really needs to be a free plus shipping. So when you buy my MP3 player, right, when you're getting it for free, you are legit. And I did the math on this. I think, I bullshit you now, I think my wife and I found 54 cents. Is that right? What we found on the MP3 players when I looked for like a surplus of money. Once we like looked at it shipped from China, and then we get it and then we ship it back out. It was like 54 cents, right? Yeah. All right, so that's the profit. Okay. Now I've sold 200 of these, at least, right? So my profit would be right around $100, right? I'm not making any money. You see that, right? Over the last few months, I've sold 200 or 300, something 200 or 300. So I think it's closer to 300, right? I've sold 300, so that would be a profit of $150, right? No. Why? Because that was a handshake. That was to get them in, right? To understand that I provide value, come check out my products. Let me give it to you totally free. You just pay for your shipping, right? Which is true. And I did testing. Is $9.95 a good price? No, they couldn't stand it. It stunk. They're like, no, there's no way in the world I would have to pay $9 for shipping. It didn't make sense to them. Then I did it for $4.95, and I had a fucking windfall. Like, oh yeah, this is a great deal. Like, well, hold on, let me back off of that because I got too many like looky-loos and like almost freebie seekers. So I took it to $5.95, $6.95, and that was my sweet spot. When I took it to $6.95, and testing is important, I realized that the quality of my customer went up as well, right? When I had it cheaper, I had a crappier client. Okay. So, and then the $9.99 customer was even more top quality than that, but I wasn't getting enough of them, right? So you have to choose. I told you, the more expensive your traffic, the better quality of customer that you'll have, the better quality of prospect that you'll have, right? So you have to make a choice. And this is, how you tweak your funnels. And we'll talk about that later on when I talk about it in my classes, right? So now, that's why we do the ascension, right? So we don't just come right in there and say, I want $100. We start off small and kind of work our way up to that $100, and we make a relationship. Okay? That's what we do. We bond and we make a relationship with our people, and we show them that we have good product, we have good intentions for you. I gave this to you free. You just have to pay your shipping, right? I got a whopping 8%. That means that I went from 1% from asking for $100, and only 1% of the people. So let's say if I had 100 people over here, one person got to see this $100 widget, right? But now 8 people get to see this $100 widget now instead of one person, right? What would you rather? You would much rather 8 people have that. So when you take this number and you put this on here, right? Now 80 people instead of 10 people get to see your offer. That's huge. That's a big difference, right? So understand that free plus shipping is powerful, right? I was watching a Russell Brunson seminar, a mastermind, and Russell Brunson is the one that convinced me of the free plus shipping. He just kept saying it because I didn't want to do it. I'm like, that's some bullshit. That's some bullshit. I'm like, giving something away for free is just totally. He's like, man, I love free plus shipping. I love it. And it's true, man. I watched my funnel change from a 1% funnel to 8%. There was a couple other changes that I made in there, but for the most part, I'm going to blame the free plus shipping model. It works. It gives people a chance to look at your product. It gives people a chance to do business with you, to go through your sales process, understand that they can trust your cart, they can trust you, you can deliver what you say you will. And there's just a whole bunch of other psychological shit inside of doing business with you, right? That's why you see a lot of people that will offer a $1 trial. Because they just want you to do a transaction with them to understand that everything is, on the up and up, right? So you build that relation and you work up to the $100 widget, right? And so I'm not going to talk about upsells today or anything like that. Only thing I'm going to do is talk about, because a funnel can be simple. It's as simple as free plus shipping right here. They purchase this right here, and then they get sent to this $100 widget afterwards. You know, hey man, since you bought that, you might be interested in this, right? And 20% of the people that purchase this, of this 8%, right? So let's just take this number to 10,800 people, right? And then 8% of these people will actually look at this offer, right? Whichever that is, that's like, I don't know, I told 64 people or whatever. Excuse me. And they actually, let's just say, purchase your product, right? The free plus shipping, that's how many people took that, right? 8%. They take your free plus shipping, then 8% of these people look here, and then 20% of those people, right, whichever that is, like 24 people, will take the $100 widget, right? So now you have more people doing business. And a funnel can be that simple, right? It doesn't have to be more complicated than that. You don't have to have a ton of upsells. You don't have to have bump offers. You don't have to have down sales. All that stuff looks confusing. In the beginning, it was confusing to me as well. And all I did was a simple funnel. I went from free plus shipping, and that was it. All I did was that. I didn't upsell anybody anything. All I did was took the free plus shipping, and I did that, right? It was $6.95. I tweaked that first, and I just took that. And then I was like, man, I need to add an upsell. No, a bump offer. So I added a cool bump. I had a bump offer at first, right? So then I added a bump offer, right? And I made my bump offer kick ass, and I had a 70% conversion rate. So then I had an average cart value of something like $23, okay? I'm showing you how I progressed with this because I didn't want to make things complicated for myself either with this free plus shipping shit because I didn't trust it. I've had other funnels before and never started like this, okay? So then I went from free plus shipping to an upsell, right? And then another upsell. And then I had 2 down sales. I did a full-on funnel, right? And it pushed my average cart value from $23 to something like $35, which means that I could pay $35 for customers to come into my funnel all day long, and I'd be okay because I know that I have an average cart value of $35. That's getting a little complicated, and I didn't mean it for it to go that way, but it's just to show you that you can start with just this. Get your traffic and direct it to your sales page. Just start with something very small, right? And direct them right to your sales page, right? Excuse me. Once you understand the concept, then you can start doing a million different iterations of a funnel. And that's when shit gets interesting, okay? So, you asked me, can this work for any business? And the answer is yes. And if a business doesn't have a sales funnel, they're losing tons of money. Tons. They're leaking money, right? If you go online and you see somebody that isn't collecting emails and they're not sending people to a landing page and they don't have an entry point of free plus shipping or $6.95 or what we call a tripwire product, you could improve that person's business by 5%. If they're getting a lot of sales, it's a lot of money, right? So you can improve that person's business by 5%. You could bring in an extra, $50,000 a month or $100,000 a month just by introducing a simple sales funnel for them. And it works, right? So you might say to yourself, and you just don't know it, right? But what about a carpet cleaning business, right? This is actually just really easy, right? What do they always start you off with? They always start you off with one free room. That's how they get you in. That's the start of their funnel right there. One free room. When they get to the house, what do? We'll do the rest of your house for $30. Isn't that how it works? How many people, raise your hand if you had a carpet cleaner come to your house before and never just got the one free room? I'm raising my fucking hand. My wife's raising her hand. You guys are raising your hand. I know it. How many people have ever had a carpet cleaner come to the house and not just got the free room? They're gonna talk you up on the deep cleaning or the Sure Guard or whatever. There's going to be some other shit that they're going to sell you, to get you in, and that is their lead magnet. They're free. Remember, that word "free" is a beast, and they had what they called door hangers back in the day, and what they would do is come hang those little door hangers right there on your door. When you would come home, you would see this little, like the "Do Not Disturb" signs in hotels sitting on your door with the free. We'll clean your carpet for free, right? Another friend of mine, how he did it was he had a auto dialer. He had an auto dialer, and he would just call up and leave a message and say, "Hey, man, we'll come clean your room for free. Leave a message if you're interested in free carpet cleaning," right? And that would go on all day long. He would come back, check his leads, and check his message machine, and he would have calls and messages every day, right? So that's how it works in a physical business. I'm not even talking about online, right? That's a physical business, right? The lead magnet. Let's talk about a dance studio. That's even easier, right? A dance studio. What is that? One free lesson. Okay? One free lesson. Get you in the studio. Give you a free lesson. If you have fun, when you leave, you're going to sign up for 10 classes. Is it true? Right? That's their lead magnet right here.
Even Debbie Allen offers free classes.
Even Debbie Allen offers a free class. There you go. She's like renowned fucking dancer. She like did the whole fame thing, did the choreography for that and all. Right? But she has a lead magnet, right? She gets you in her funnel. Come down here and dance with Debbie Allen for free in her class, right? I've actually seen videos my wife watches, and she actually dances in the class still. And she's like 70 years old. She's still dancing now, right? So she goes, and you go get your free dance lessons with Debbie Allen, and then when you leave, you're going to pay for it. They're going to upsell you to 10 classes. This is a funnel. You take traffic and direct it to your least amount of friction, right? Every business could use one, right? The dojos, the karate studios. What do you get for free? A free class. You learn free, right? That's just it. That's what they do to let people in, right? A salon. What do they use for hair salons? I believe it's they add shit though. I believe it's like a free wash and set. Yeah, a free shampoo, right? A free shampoo is what you'll get, right? But guaranteed, I'm going to tell you something where beauty salons get their upsells. It's the products they use in your hair, right? So a free shampoo is cool, right? But you're going to get more than that. They're going to upsell you on, a cut for an extra $13 or something, right? But where they're going to get you is getting you to purchase that shampoo. Or they had this silky shit they used to put in my hair so much, like it was really good, made my hair feel really soft, man. And they used to get me that on every time. And it's something stupid, like $24 a bottle. It's a crazy markup on that shit inside in the beauty salons, right? But you're going to buy it, right? And that's where their upsells is. And that's why they can afford to give you a free shampoo. That's where the upsells are, excuse me. And that's why they can afford to give you a free shampoo, because they know that, 10% of the people or 20% of the people probably are going to purchase that $24 bottle of shampoo. All you need to do is be creative and understand what your business is. Now, I didn't even talk about online because it's really easy to do online. But the one thing I'm going to tell you not to do is the free lead magnet. That's it. People, the PDF checklist and the ebook is dead. Right? Rest in peace, ebook. And PDF checklist. Those are dead, right? Everybody knows it. Everybody knows that. That's my... That's a headstone. Does it look like a headstone? That's a headstone. Doesn't look like a headstone? It's a headstone. All right. I'll even write it here then. Headstone. What about now?
Yeah, no, it looks more like
All right, what about this? What if I go 1999 to 2016? All right, so the rest in peace, the ebook and the PDF, right? Try to give something away of value that's actually value that they can pay for. If you don't know how to write a book, just figure out, get somebody else to write one for you. Give away something of value and the free plus shipping. So to answer your question, that is what a sales funnel is. And will it work for your business? And the answer to that is yes. A sales funnel is just directing traffic and asking people to do business with you and giving them a low friction entry point. Okay. So, anything from 0, which is free, to about $6.95, $7 is a good price, right? That will get them in, and then you can send them to the landing page straight to your $100 offer if you want to, or whatever else you want to do. And that's a funnel. That's it. Coffee break.